For those of you who don't know me, I'm alexismariaotero. I do a lot of indie horror and Pokemon. Pokemon not so much lately. And the wool scraper will stand. Ooh. To my next stream's information, so that when I do another stream, I can just like get 2 hours of social anxiety out of the way by smoking and drinking decaf and snuggling with my dog and my partner, Fire. He's waving off camera. And just go right into the game. Hello? Okay, do we have our breakdown implements ready? I think we do. I think we do for the most part. He's the one who hated Bubba and... You think he did it? I've heard he's a weirdo. Hey, Fire, can you pop into my stream with the things and check the volume real quick? Okay, thank you. I hurriedly rubbed my glasses. The glasses. Semyon was clutching them in his fists while I was getting beaten up. And in just a couple of hours, the lost item was lying on the ledge of my window. It was hard to imagine that Sioma suddenly got guilty conscience and returned my glasses in such a strange way. I was shocked, but kept walking towards the classroom, accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. That photo still stood before my eyes. Semyon has gone missing. Semyon is gone. His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring won't smash into my chin. Did I do it?
Signet ring?
Signet.
Yeah,
Signet. He'll never humiliate me again. Wasn't that what I wished for? On the other hand, did I really wish Semyon to become a murky stain on the unnoticed board? He was still someone's son or a grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. That don't matter. Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? By the way, boop. I don't know the answer. Or I was just scared of it. Polina. Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. Polina, the girl with the violin. She was like a mountain spring, like well water that you gulp down, pressing your lips against the zinc outer ring of a bucket, and can't ever get enough. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. As soon as I thought of monsters, a bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from the Alien. I immediately felt larvae of fear writhe in my stomach. Thank you.
I got a really good ear with whatever that sound.
Okay. I didn't want to cross paths with Ramka Bayasha after what happened yesterday, especially since Semyon suddenly went missing. It's like reading as a second language to me. It's terrible. I can't read out loud very well. I'm practicing though. I entered the classroom and went towards the last row. All of the chatter suddenly died down, so I walked there in complete silence. I felt like my classmates pushed and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. They looked at me with a mortifying mix of pity, ridicule, and derision, like a scientist looks at an ugly representation of a newfound species of worm. I stared at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top, my fists clenched. It felt like I was the one who disappeared in that snowy forest and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Semyon's empty chair stood in front of me. The chair that once belonged to Vova gathered dust somewhere in another classroom. Every boy my age I knew had something like this in his arsenal. Powder, firecrackers that blow up with a very loud sound. Especially inside an archway. It is said that they are produced in China and that a single one of them can blow your fingers off if you light it up and clutch it in your hand. Especially the black Corsair type, I don't know. They won't be enough to blow up plastic soldiers, but when it comes to stuff made of plaster, they should work. I like bombs. Oh shit. I didn't mean it. It was for science. For education. Now I'm on a ban list. I hope I can still fly. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Baburin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Leah Pavlovna at first. The chatter resumed as if someone just unpaused a movie. Baburin's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home. First she ran to the school, then called the cops. Yup. Honestly, you don't deserve the yup, ducky line. But like, I don't even know how else to depict you. You're so, Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned into her neighbor and whispered something. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them too. Whispers, nods. I kept catching her stare on myself. Her neighbors stared too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. What? I wanted to defend myself and shout, "Guys, listen, I'm innocent." I don't give two shits what they thought of me. God damn. Well, I tried doing that in high school and it didn't turn out very well. Crippling depression and whatnot. The delinquents turned around and stared at me in silence. Their looks were dripping with malice. You ever just get hated for literally no reason? Like, the amount of times I had sex with someone while I was still a virgin was ridiculous. But why? What did I do to them? Their friend went missing, and they're still focused on me. Suddenly, I noticed Bayasha drilling a hole in my nose with his eyes. It felt like he was about to point his finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs, "Everyone look! Baburin snatched his glasses yesterday, and now he has them back. Murder!" But he remained silent, as if there was nothing special at all about my glasses. Oh, that's probably what Katya whispered. I may be going mad, but I think Bayasha knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt. You need a new improvised weapon, my bro.
Не надо быть Коломбо, чтобы догадаться.
Have the Americas already been pillaged? You don't have to be Columbo to solve this. Columbo, an American crime drama television series starring Peter Falk as Columbo, a homicide detective with the Los Angeles Police Department. And yes, we have from the timeline realized this is in the late 80s, early 90s.
Кто на Бабурина зуб имел?
Who held a grudge against Baburin? Who gave him a reason to? The metal ruler fell out of my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jingle that made the other kids shudder. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Next time it's you, bitch. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away from me, closer to the exit, towards the teacher's desk. Yes! Oh, this is a dream come true. I was not the only one to catch wind of that damage, or of that change. It is damage, though. The classroom took like 50% damage. Ramka and Bayash looked around and winced in contempt. Too bad they weren't afraid of me like everyone else.
Да прикуси ты.
Shut it.
Бабурин, небось, бабку пожрался и дымился.
I betcha Baburin just got a whipping from his old hag and ran off.
Скоро найдется.
They'll find him soon.
Найдется, ага.
They'll find him alright.
Во овраге со вспоротым брюхом.
In a ravine with his stomach cut open. Katya's blood runs Russian cold. Like... Jesus help this bitch. And I never say that. I do not say that lightly. I never say that. I gulped. I imagine Suyoma on a snowy blanket, his face white like a fish belly split down the middle by the crevice of his mouth, snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. See? I could almost hear his condescending tone. It's all your fault. But why was Semyon the only one who get his just desserts for bullying me? Weren't all of them supposed to disappear? Romka, Baisha, Katya, along with everybody laughing, all the onlookers. Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stared at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I'll have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked. Polina entered the classroom. I didn't know they were so informal. I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared critter. Scared critter. Polina went to her seat without looking at me. Loud noises. Oh my god. Y'all, when I learn editing, and by that I mean when Fire learns editing, my videos will be unstoppable. I will have so many like headphones warnings. It'll be great. Maybe even like soften the noise with that a little bit.
Так, заканчиваем бардак. Дети, встаньте.
Alright, stop messing around. Class, stand up.
Петров, тебя это тоже касается.
You too, Petrov. Lilia Pavlovna went to her desk, followed by a policeman in uniform. It was the man that visited us recently. Tall, and his stare so sharp you could get cut on it.
Здрасте.
Oh, this is when the police talk to the kids about like stranger danger and safety. It's usually someone in the family. Hello there, kids. Hi. Remember when they all had us do that in like elementary school? Especially during assemblies, and they were like, you can do better than that. And then we had to all scream it, and it was really like condescending. Anyway,
Садитесь.
you can sit down, kids.
Познакомьтесь. Это старший лейтенант Константин Владимирович Тихонов.
This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov.
Он задаст вам несколько вопросов
I gave it the
и
best I
проведет
had.
небольшую лекцию по безопасности.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA, public service announcement.
Лучше лекция от милиционера, чем уроки.
The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. His brown eyes felt around the classroom, looking for me. Hair stood on the back of my neck, and an icicle had lodged in my gut. I don't know that feeling firsthand, but I have tried to kill someone with an icicle before in my dream, and allegedly, and it's harder than it looks to like line that shit up.
А правда, что бабурина маньяк убил?
Is it true that Bourbon got killed by a serial killer?
Екатерина, ну-ка цыц. Вопросы здесь взрослые
He's
задают.
not a magic 8-ball girl. Like, stop. Shush, Ekaterina. Let the adults ask questions here. So I guess the E is silent.
Просто нам всем страшно.
We're all scared.
Может, убийца бродит где-то рядом.
Maybe the killer is somewhere close as she looks directly at us. Maybe they're even sitting among us.
Спиной.
Her sly stare was directed at me. Tikhonov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movement. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. And he just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Oh, that would be a bad thing. Just police officers walking towards you and you scream in the middle of class. Calm down. Breathe. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. He already knew the answer to the question, but the policeman still asked in a stern voice.
Petrov Anton?
Anton Petrov?
Да.
Yes.
Встань, Петров.
Stand up, Petrov. My muscles turned to stone. I got up and glued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creaking in the process. I only wished that Polina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace of horror on my face. If only I could be somewhere far away. In the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling up into a ball there. The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrists. I wonder how cold those bracelets are to the touch. I imagined myself getting jailed and put into a juvenile detention center where tens of Semyons would constantly harass me.
Я ничего не знаю. Я тут ни при чем.
I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with this.
А тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody is accusing you of anything.
Пока что.
For now. Only then I noticed a file that said case number in his hand, and it had a gray cover made from rough carton. Number 131. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They showed prints on the snow. They looked like animal prints.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Semyon Baburin before?
Я знал его всего одну неделю.
I only knew him for a week.
Все знают. Петров его ненавидел.
You evil bitch. Everyone knows that Petrov hated him. I turned red. You ugly bitch. I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Instantly, I replied with the calmest voice I could muster.
Мы повздорили не так давно.
We had a fight some time ago.
Он меня ударил.
He hit me. A voice came from the side.
Хана тебе.
You're fucked.
Так, Пятифанов, а ну рот закрой.
Hey, Pyatifanov, shut your mouth. I staggered, barely able to keep my balance. Surprisingly, Lily Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Бабурин проблемный подросток. С шилом кое-где.
Baburin is a troubled teen, a true pain in the ass. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook of the file.
Это твое?
Is this yours? I averted my gaze. It was the math notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured me greedily with their eyes. It felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicion.
Мое.
Yeah,
В лесу нашли.
we found it in the forest.
Там же тракторист, что снег убирал в последний раз, видел Бабурина.
In the area where the tractor driver who was plowing snow there last saw Babor. I started blinking in bewilderment. Ramka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just got lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify to Semyon and I walking in different directions after that. I looked towards the boys, hopeful. Ramka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. When the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick his nose. Good cover. I deciphered his signal. Boys like Ramka would probably say something like snitches get stitches in a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday, but now they're...
Так что ты делал вчера в лесу, Антон?
So what were you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
Я в школу через лес хожу.
I go to school through the forest.
Могла выпасть легко.
It could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily. Just like me producing this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a veiled threat, the teacher said, "Class,
А сейчас лейтенант расскажет о правилах, которые вам необходимо соблюдать.
the officer will now tell you about some rules that you should follow."
Так маньяк все-таки есть.
So the killer does exist. It's probably you, psycho.
Пока мы ничего вам сказать не можем.
We can't make any of this public for now.
Но есть преступник или нет, вы должны четко помнить о собственной безопасности.
Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your safety.
Вас бережет милиция, вас опекают родители и учителя. Но в первую очередь защищать себя должны вы сами.
The police, your parents, and your teachers all watch over you. But no one guards you better than you yourself.
Итак, кто там что хотел узнать?
Alright, any questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desk.
А у вас оружие с собой? А покажите пистолет. А покажите, пожалуйста. Охрану
The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policemen with questions. In an attempt to calm down that chorus, he moved towards the blackboard. The gray file was left lying in front of me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I stared at it, my breathing so ragged that I might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. Beads of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates. I have some weird word association with like school. My nightmares were catching officers every word, aka my classmates. Only Ramka was saying something to Bayasha. Lilia Pavlovna was staring into the window, fighting back yawns.
Объявлять комендантский час причин пока нет. Слишком мало времени прошло с момента исчезновения вашего одноклассника. Мы...
I did it. Was there a point that I was supposed to not do it? Or do it, or like... Is he supposed to catch me, or all the time, or every time? My hand instinctively moved away, as if that stare actually hurt. The officer just kept staring at me without saying a word, making me squirm under the weight of this uncomfortable silence and the sneering looks of my classmates. And then he suddenly continued his speech as if nothing ever happened.
Все уверены, что он найдется живым и здоровым. Но сразу после уроков.
Nobody paid me any mind, so I slowly opened the file. My fingers started sifting through the documents. Ksenia Talalevia, 6 years old, left her home sometime in December. Identifying features. Okay. My heart almost jumped out from the ribcage. A round-faced girl, no older than Olya, smiling at me from the photo. The first victim of a serial killer? The first child to disappear in the forest without a trace? I turned another page. Vladimir Matyukin, 10 years old. Vova was the second, his mitten hanging from the branch. His name, called out by desperate adults repeatedly by the sneering echo. Lilia Pavlovna coughed, trying to calm down the rowdy students. I yanked my hand away and the file closed.
Поговорим о диких животных. Как известно, в наших лесах водятся волки, медведи, лисы.
Oh, shit. I cleaned my teeth from surprise. Actually, I swore. Pushed myself into the back of my chair, blinking in bewilderment. The officer silently gathered the documents and gave me a stern look.
Больно ты любопытный, Петров.
Well, aren't you a curious boy, Petrov? Well, aren't you a delinquent-ass officer? Tikhonov? You just leave a whole case file on a kid's desk. What the fuck do you think they're gonna do with it?
И еще раз.
Let me say this again.
Если вы заметите в поселке кого-то подозрительного, неважно, возле школы или на лесной тропинке, сразу сообщайте в милицию.
If you see anyone suspicious in the village, be it near the school or on the forest trail, contact the police immediately. Because they're so good at their job.
Телефон
Sorry.
знаете?
I'm just gonna like mute myself once I figure out editing. You know our number, right? 02.
Спасибо, ребята.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls.
Спасибо, Лилия Павловна.
Thank you, Lilia Pavlovna.
И это,
And
одноклассника вашего мы найдем.
we'll find your classmate. Which one? Now there's two. Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe you'll be able to piece them together. Like Legos. My thoughts turned evil for some reason, and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals, but he didn't really cover furries. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people, How suspicious was this fox girl that wandered in the darkness? Pretty suspicious. A weirdo that always appeared out of nowhere, then dissolves into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. She's pretty sus. I think she could beat the shit out of him. Could she really harm the hulking Semyon? Should I tell the officer about her? No. What if the lives of other kids depend on this? Of the cute Ksenia and Vova too. Wait, what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they'll start whispering behind my back? Or what's even worse? They think that I'm insane. Romka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police. Katya's braid dangled nervously behind the delinquent's desk sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk.
До свидания, лейтенант.
Tikhonov was saying goodbye to Lilia Pavlovna. He was about to leave. It'll be too late soon. Tell him or stay silent. Boy, if you don't shut the fuck up. No way. I've had enough of humiliation. Besides, something tells me that cop will make a house call. I'll keep my head down like a bunny. Like a bunny. I locked my fingers and zipped my mouth. The bell rang. Lilia Pavlovna passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmates went silent at the same time, as if someone muted the sound on a TV. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental looks. I felt like I was in the scopes of many sniper rifles. I squeezed through the barricade made of desks, looking for Polina. But I stumbled into my new buddies instead. New breed! Hi, I am powering through this game. I have all my safety mental health stuff within arm's reach. So I'm okay for now. Hello! Where's Loyal? Thank you for joining us. How have you been, New Breed? Y'all, if you haven't checked out New Breed, please give him a follow. It costs $0, 0 cents. And shit. Followers loyal too. How are you guys doing today? I'm so proud of you, Breed. You've been eating better and better. Yo, this game is fucked in the head. Also, I had a man touch me without my consent in my counseling waiting office. that I'm there for like sexual harassment and sexual assault, and like, why would you touch a woman there? Why would you feel the need to? Bruh. I'm still reeling. It's okay. Well, it's not okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I've just like not gotten over that yet. Romka swaggered up to me. Sorry to hear that for sure. Thank you. Thank you guys. And I mean, streaming's really helped me a lot. Like, cause like, y'all can't touch me. But like, Breed, I'd give you a hug and smoke a bowl with you any day. People nowadays are so weird and stupid, I swear. Yo, for real. If we could, we would. Y'all, sub to me so we can donate to the Breed and AlexismariaOtero meetup fund. Got nothing but love for you, Breed. Romka swaggered up to me.
Решил сдать нас ментам?
Decided to rat us out to the cops.
Но я ничего не сказал.
I didn't say anything.
Зато подумал.
But sure as fuck thought about it, eh? Romka towered over me, breathing out a faint smell of tobacco.
Ты сильно ошибаешься, думая, что без Сёмы у тебя настанут веселые деньки.
You're very wrong if you think that without Sayoma, you'll have a better time here.
Мы тебя сосвету живем, понял?
We'll make this place hell for you, got it?
До скорого, очкарик.
See you, Four Eyes. My head tilted forward from his slap.
Вот the лохна!
What a loser. I wasn't surprised to find a note stuck to my back during the break. It said, "Kick me. Kick me." My nightmare clearly wasn't about to end. Well, it might. I mean, everyone you end up making enemies with turns up dead. So... It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. At first glance, everything was still the same. Gloomiest place ever. I want to live here. Like, I have an okay house. I am fortunate enough to have a really okay house. But when I was homeless and squatting, I would go to the most decrepit houses ever, and I grew such a love for them. The forest still held out its gnarly claws towards the village, and the wind whipped up white flags weaved from powdery snow every night. When my parents argued in the other room, I would turn up the TV's volume to silence their muffled voices and sit close to Olya. Vova's and Semyon's photos were still 2 black spots on the notice board, and round-faced Senya hasn't returned home too. But something did change. I could see how the looks of my classmates were. They met me with a new portion of jokes and insults. Contempt, mockery, loneliness became my faithful companions. But most importantly, a shadow slid across my desk, leaving a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between the rows, but the messenger was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me this note? What could this carefully ripped out piece of... Open the note! More threats or humiliate... Open the note. Carefully inhale the wafting aroma. Open it! Blackberry. I'll be waiting at a cul-de-sac near the dressing room. Come alone. I'll be waiting at a cul-de-sac near the dressing room. I've lived at the end of a cul-de-sac. There was never a dressing room there.
There might be a translation error.
There were horses. Yeah. Maybe.
Cul-de-sac might be mistranslated.
Yeah, it's probably like
End of a hallway.
end of a hallway, yeah. Inside was a message in a beautiful handwriting. I'm waiting at a dead end near the dressing room. Come alone. Drunk on that sudden call, I immediately started walking, looking over my shoulder from time to time, making sure nobody was following me. This gives me bad vibes. That gives me vibes that the other two boys like sprayed some girl perfume and got a girl to write in a note for them and then like casually drop it on their desk so they could jump him. I don't know. Even though I suspected it could be another trap set up by Romka and by Asha at first, this buzzing thought soon left my mind. The two of them don't have enough combined brain power to fake Polina's note so carefully. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a run and jumped around the corner. But as soon as I did that, I rammed into somebody inside the dark nook.
Ой!
Ow! Like a magical bird, a green notebook glided to my feet. Polina puffs her cheeks in exaggerated anger. What is that? What is that upside down? TETPA cow B. Nope.
Петров! Да ты совсем зрение потерял.
Petrov, have you lost your sight completely? I fixed my glasses. My nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook.
Прости, я так торопился. Ты меня ждала? Что случилось?
Sorry, I was in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Polina studied me with her eyes and clicked her tongue. Is Polina the fox?
А знаешь, на что ты похож, Антоша?
Do you know what you look like, Antosha? Call him a bunny.
блюзовую импровизацию.
Like blues improv. I blinked in bewilderment.
Это как?
What do you mean?
Для меня все люди с чем-то ассоциируются.
I always associate people I know with something.
И для меня, но не с музыкой же.
I do that too, but why music?
Вот как раз с музыкой.
It can't be anything other than music.
Бывают люди гитарные соло, или барабанный бой, или военный марш, как наша Лилия Павловна.
Some people are like guitar solos, some are drummers, some people like our Lilia Pavlovna are war marches.
А ты такой задумчивый, таинственный, иногда немного печальный.
And you're so thoughtful, so mysterious, sometimes even a bit sad.
Ты точно блюз.
You're definitely blues.
А почему импровизация?
What about the improv part?
А это когда слушатель не догадывается, куда свернет мелодия, какой темп возьмет.
It's when the listener has no idea where the melody will go, what tempo it will adapt. Of course, some of the things Polina said went completely over my head. But I couldn't stop looking at her smile, like a light breeze in May, in her eyes deep blue.
Чтобы распознать в тебе музыку, нужен опыт и вкус.
One needs to have experience and taste to recognize the music in you.
Это не какая-то там эстрада.
You're not some pop music.
Я, наверное, вообще не знаю, что такое этот блюз.
I don't think I even know what blues is. Polina gasped and frowned, which made her look even more beautiful.
Не произноси при мне такие слова. Я тебе обязательно дам кассету.
Don't say something like that to my face. I'll make sure to give you a cassette.
Раньше мне дедушка из города столько музыки привозил. И джаз, и свинг, и классику.
Grandpa used to bring me so much music from the city. Jazz, swing, and classical too.
Это он подметил, что у меня склад ума, как у музыканта.
He was the one to notice my musical mindset.
Я еще совсем маленькой пыталась на бумаге записать звуки природы. Пение дождя, леса.
When I was still very little, I tried recording the sounds of nature on paper, the songs of rain and the forest.
Эх, мне бы твои уши.
I wish I had ears like yours,
А мне бы твои глаза.
and I'd love to have your eyes. I tensed up, worried she was making fun of me, but Polina shook her head.
Да-да, я серьезно.
No,
У тебя глаза
no,
художника.
I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Смотришь на вещи и фиксируешь их. Я так не умею.
You're good at picturing things. I can't do that. Katya walked past us with her trademark frosty glare. We dove into the shadows trying to escape it.
Теперь понимаешь, почему мы тут прячемся? Вот из-за таких, как она.
You understand why we're hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
А Катька какая мелодия.
And what kind of melody is Katya? What kind of melody is Katya? Polina flashed me a sly smile.
Скрип несмазанных дверных петель.
The squeaking sound of unoiled door hinges.
Знаешь, такой мерзкий дискант.
You know, this nasty discount. I giggled, covering my mouth. Katya didn't hear our whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder. Hi, Frosty. How you doing? But she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. I remembered about the notebook I was still clutching in my hand. I turned it in my hands. Instead of the subject name, the front side had the name of the owner and 2 words. Friends only.
Любопытной Варваре кое-что оторвали.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
Прости, это анкета?
Yeah, I have. I've been recently going through some stuff. Happy Wednesday to you too. I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Заполнял когда-нибудь?
Have you ever filled one? I lied that I had. In reality, girl classmates from my previous school had never asked me to fill their questionnaires. It was quite upsetting. I mean, it was a girl hobby. You just answer a set of standard questions about your favorite actors and colors, but entrusting someone with such a notebook was the sign of friendship. And maybe of something even more. Something I only had a vague idea about.
Хочешь, заполни мою?
If you can fill in mine if you want. My heartbeat quickened.
Хочу, спасибо.
I do, thank you. Polina giggled.
А хотя, там же столько секретов.
Actually, there are so many secrets there.
Наверное, лучше тебе не знать, о чем мы, девочки, думаем.
You'd be better off not knowing what we girls think. She reached for the notebook, playing with me. I tossed my finding into my free hand. Polina tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly touched my face, tickling my nose with its silky locks. That is such a cute pic. Get out of here, mouse. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world. Fragrant, alluring, lively. If I could only picture it, steal it for myself. I felt dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Ваша анкета является важнейшей уликой, и я вынужден временно изъять ее для изучения.
Your questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I'll have to confiscate it for further examination. Polina covered her mouth, that rounded in fake horror.
И что мне грозит за сокрытие улик?
And what are the implications of concealing evidence?
Следствие покажет.
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
Сдаюсь, товарищ милиционер.
I surrender, Mr. Policeman.
Только обещайте ничего не читать.
Just promise you won't read anything.
Здесь содержатся секретные сведения.
It's full of sensitive information.
Боюсь, что мне все-таки придется выяснить, не влюблен ли кто в гражданина Петрова.
I'm afraid I'll have to investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Polina burst out laughing and pressed herself against my chest, showering me with the aroma of her hair and her milky skin that looked almost transparent, with tiny threads of veins running under it. Her whisper was hot, like a piece of butter sizzling on a pan.
Тогда поклянитесь, что не станете разглашать информацию.
Then swear that you will keep this information private.
Честная милицейская.
I swear it on my police badge.
А теперь, Антоша, самое время поторопиться.
Well, now we need to hurry, Antosha. I took out the notebook during class. Skimming through it, reading into other people's preferences. Was quite surprised to discover Romka's jerky handwriting inside. His letters bulged out of the cells as if embarrassed by their shapelessness. Fearsome Romka found time for something so silly. I I chuckled into my first after I found out that Romka's favorite cartoon is not even Darkwing Duck, but DuckTales. Somewhere in the distance, the teacher was reciting pieces of Andreev's Snapper. I paid them no mind. Polina's page was decorated with flower drawings and clippings from the Cool Girl magazine. Polina Morozova. I don't know what that means. Franz Schubert. My birthday. Listening. Seeing the world. Robert Schumann. Losing the people I love. She's a 92er. Town. I'll butcher it. Grandpa. Her favorite musician is Schubert. Her best friend is her grandpa. Her hobby is not violin like I expected, but much more mysterious listening. Can such a mundane process really be someone's hobby? Yo, y'all remember MySpace? I looked at Polina over the heads of other students. She was focused on taking notes. I flipped the pages until I found a blank one and armed myself with a pen. Anton Petrov, Class 6B. It took a long time to decide on my favorite, Carman. A Soviet and Russian techno-pop band most popular from the 80s to early 90s. Founded by Bogdan Titomir and Sergei Lemok. It is mostly remembered for unique dancing performances and for writing a musical theme for the Captain Pronin cartoon. It took a long time to decide on my favorite musician until a trendy pop band, Carman, came to mind, with the cool dancers in their music videos. Favorite holiday? This one's easy. New Year's. My hobby is drawing. My dream? Going to Disneyland, I guess. My hero. My hand moves on its own, writing. I stopped on those two letters. What if those who read this after me will find my answer laughable and stupid? After thinking for a bit, I decided that not everything should be disclosed on paper. That's how Dad turned into Spider-Man. The spelling was wrong, but who cares? Your biggest fear, huh? I immediately wrote losing a person who's dear to me. Your phone number? No secret here. 3 TAC 03 TAC 95. Weird. Favorite cartoon? Transformers. Pokemon rule. Your best friend. I hesitated, gnawing on the pen's cap. Your best friend. I read the question out loud. It was easy, but at the same time very important. To answer that it was my little sister's name. So I carefully wrote it into the squares. Oh yeah. I repeated my little sister's name while sneaking out of the school. There was a cute, freshly drawn dragon in my notebook that I made to please my beloved sister. In this land of darkness and deceit, her support was the only thing that inspired me to keep drawing and stopped me from losing hope in humanity. Freshly frosty air made my cheeks turn beet red. It was bright outside, and the sun looked like a whole egg yolk. The road looked as if it was silvered. The snow sparkled under the sunlight. I smiled, squinted from the blinding whiteness. Who cares if I don't have any true friends anymore? I have something more important. Someone who needs my help, who will never betray or hurt me. Some family is the most important thing ever. That's what Dad always told me. Hey, what's up with the stupid grin? My numb lips immediately shrank. Bayasha was shuffling his feet in the middle of the yard, his boots restless on the ice. It's not a grin. I tried to go around him, to no avail. Lady Fortune waved me goodbye, disappearing into the early twilight. In a hurry?
Немного. Меня папа ждет.
A little bit. Dad is waiting for me. Have fun! I hope you have a good breakfast. Girl, breakfast.
Я ему тиркну на пейджер, что ты не придешь.
I know what a pager is. How dumb do you think I am? A wireless telecommunications device that receives and displays alphanumerical or voice messages to send a message to another person's pager. You had to call a special line, provided the recipient's number or name, and read your message out loud. Oh my god. Who the fuck invented pagers? Oh, that was such a messy go-between. I'll shoot him a pager message that you're not coming. My eye flinched unwittingly. My skin dampened. Let's go, eh? We have a small business to discuss. I felt chills run all over my body. I didn't like the sound of that small business. Those words, accompanied by a spinning, normally hid very dark deeds underneath. Strangers used to call our old apartment. Strangers that used to call our old apartment used to say, "Get your old man, we have a small business to discuss." Ooh. Bayasha turned around. He looked like an astronaut in his tight hood. If I were to imagine him as a sound, he'd be a deafening whistle, a signal given by someone who stands watch. To my demise, there was nobody at the backyard. Apart from the grim-faced Romka. That's even worse. Why wouldn't you put those two in the same, speech bubble? He stood there, because it's like, aww. He stood there, his feet wide apart, with his right hand behind his back. What's in your hand, my man? Romka's dry lips were tightly pursed. He kept shooting glances at me as he looked around.
Привел нас.
There he is.
Вижу.
I can see that.
Ну, здорово, Антоша.
Well, hello there, Antosha.
Что тебе нужно?
What do you want? He slowly took out a thin, carnivorously shiny blade from behind his back. A steel butterfly of death that flies towards the victim's heartbeat. I stepped back instinctively. Those aren't actually the best blades for you if you're thinking about fighting. Get you like a good Kershaw. They're just like, they clip into things, spring-loaded out, and they have like the nub so you can't slip forward and like cut yourself. They're really cool. Anyway, always be strapped. Yes, I stuff my bra with knives. Ooh, wanna play the game? I love the game. Guess how many knives I have on me? What? Elliot loved that game! You're wrong. But, you're 1.5 off. Does this count as a weapon?
If you count it as a weapon, it counts.
Because it's kind of like brass knuckle of 1. I have 3 blades. Today. If you punch in, I'ma throw hands. Breed, you know me. I'm feral. I stepped back instinctively and ran my back into Bayasha. Romka's minion pushed me back.
А мы с Бешей хотели узнать.
But anyway, yeah, don't get the butterfly blade. Get you a good cheap Kershaw to start out with. Like something you can handle. We want to know.
Ты не держишь на нас обиду?
Do you have any hard feelings for me or Bayasha? Romka started picking on his yellow nail. Oh man, he does smoke a lot. Did you know smoking can dye your nail yellow? Looking at me with an evil smirk on his face.
Ну, там, в лесу.
Well,
Мы были
they're in the
немного грубые с
forest.
тобой.
We kind of roughed you up.
Сам понимаешь, такое у нас воспитание.
It's just our poor upbringing, you know?
Да, до вас городских далеко.
Yeah, not as cultured as you city folk. So you two are beggars now.
Вот порой нас и заносит.
So we get feisty sometimes. Please don't kill us. I nodded, my eyes glued to the knife. The blade glowed under the setting sun, and Romka's eyes held the same evil glow. He stepped towards me. His knife traveled inches away from my coat. One movement and steel would cut into the cloth, and if he pushed deeper...
Нам одна птичка напела. Ты опять возле Полины отирался?
The little bird told us you were snooping about Polina again. I was so scared that it took me a while to remember who Polina was. My brain was malfunctioning. I was on factory reset mode. My knees were shaking. Suddenly, our class rep slowly walked up to Romka from behind.
О, смотрю, мальчики, вы нашли общий язык.
This bitch! I see you boys are getting along quite well.
За мной должок, Катька.
I owe you one, Katya.
Ой, не благодари, Ромочка. Я всегда на страже настоящей любви.
Oh, no need to thank me, Romachka. I'm always fighting for true love.
Да-да-да.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't say who says this, but something says, I'll kill you, I swear.
Так, я не слышу. Ты к Полине подходил или нет?
I can't hear you. Were you near Polina or not?
Мы так болтали.
Well, we didn't hang out or anything.
Болтать будешь кишками, когда я тебе брюхо вскрою.
The only thing hanging out here will be your guts when I cut your stomach open. The blade slid across my sleeve with its dull side and reached for my collar. The wind made my face cold, but a bead of sweat still trickled from my temple. A switch flipped in my head. It all made sense now. I remembered Romka constantly sneaking glances at Polina. I remember his scrawny handwriting in the questionnaire. Why didn't I study it more, in depth?
Еще раз замечу рядом с Полинкой, пеняй на себя. Шишкой не отделаешься.
I see you near Polina even once and you won't get away with a simple bump.
Усек?
Got it?
Да,
Sure.
Пшел вон!
Now scram! This middle schooler's finna be my wife. I was probably so hypnotized by the knife that Romka had to repeat his threat.
Вон!
Go on, scram. I thought about the cold, sharp blade when retreating from the yard. I was asking myself whether I had enough courage to break the promise I made to those bastards. The aftertaste of horrible water I drank down my meds with lingered in my mouth. My thoughts were focused on Polina, but Romka's threat was also on my mind. Yo, he's like 11. Punt him.
В общем, я сегодня книжку читала, там ребята учились в школе, прям как ты ходишь в школу, и они в школу ходили. Вот. И у них был какой-то праздник, и они там поделки лепили и делали все своими руками.
I wandered around the house feeling intoxicated and nodded to everything my sister said without trying to discern her words.
Потом они все это разбирали и склеили на бумагу.
Oya was talking non-stop, at times lifting up her arms and laughing, only to then suddenly go quiet and give me Mom's signature gnarly look. I was yanked out of the prison of my own mind where seething thoughts pecked at my brain like harpies, stopping me from coming back to reality. Oya, are you ready to have a conversation? I stared back. Oya looked like a mini version of our mom right now. Well, to be precise, she looked like the person Mom turned into when we moved here, with her intimidating posture and her eyebrows directed towards the ceiling.
Ты меня не слушал, так?
You weren't listening to me, were you? Absolutely not. That was madness. She tried spitting out those words to me, copying facial expressions of the person she spent almost all of her free time with. For a moment, I felt like the light Olya exuded all these years waned and wavered in the wind of prolonged changes. Very soon, my beautiful princess will turn into the dragon that was once guarding her prison tower. That thought was much scarier to me than any other horror sneaking up to me from the future. What are women today? We're beautiful princesses that turn into dragons that end up guarding our previous prison tower. Oh, I need to make bingo sheets. Should I make bingo sheets? Huh.
Оля, прости.
Sorry, Olya.
Ты же не сердишься, правда?
I didn't want to make you mad. I just got lost in thought. I looked around the room, my gaze jumping from one object to another like a hungry beast, trying to find anything that could distract Olya.
Давай в приставку поиграем.
Let's play the console. Olya pouted, but there was a spark of interest in her small emerald eyes. Oh, Billie Eilish did Ocean Eyes. What if she did Emerald Eyes next? And then like Sunset Eyes for brown eyes. Ooh, that'd be so pretty. They'd have to have like a different vibe for each one though. Ocean Eyes was special. The Snow Queen's ice shards inside of them started thawing.
А как же второй джойстик? Не работает же.
And what about the second controller? It's not working. Maybe someone threw it down a hallway.
А папе починить некогда.
It couldn't be you.
I don't throw controllers on accident or on purpose.
I don't even know if that's a throw. That's a fling. That was... I've seen you throw softballs softer.
That's true.
Like, during games, when it mattered. That thing took a beating. And my dad has no time to fix it.
Можем из пистолета пострелять.
We can play with the light gun.
В ковбоев или уток. Хочешь?
What do you want to play? Cowboys? Ducks?
Ты лучше меня играешь.
You're better than me at both. I hate people like that. Like, just play the game. Have fun. Have fun losing. Have fun improving.
Да ладно тебе.
Oh, come on.
Поди целый день тренировалась, пока меня дома не было.
You must have been practicing the whole time I was away from home. Olya burst out laughing. Her heart was warm once again.
А как ты догадался?
How did you know?
Я сейчас знаешь, какая меткая. Считай, уже проиграл.
But I'm a good shooter now. You've already lost.
Не на того напала. Включай скорее.
You picked the wrong fight. Come on, turn it on. Little Olya jumped towards the TV set and after flicking the power switch, started blindly feeling around the backside of the futon, trying to plug the console cable into the antenna input. That's just like so cool. Had to. Bits of TV shows started flashing on the CRT screen when I armed myself with a remote to look for the channel with the sought after Dendy signal. An 8-bit gaming console that circulated in the CIS regions in the 90s. It was an unofficial third generation Famicom or NES clone. Neither Famicom nor NES were ever licensed for the Russian market, so Dendy was the only popular alternative for 8-bit gaming during that time period. Gamer knowledge.
Что дома интересного происходило?
Did anything interesting happen at home? It was a mundane question for me. I didn't put any actual meaning behind it. But Olya's expression suddenly changed. She lost all of the childish nonchalantness she worked so hard to acquire before.
Что-то случилось?
What happened, Olya? My sister managed to put the cable in its place and started brushing off her dust-covered hand. She was clearly looking for the courage to continue the conversation. Mom, she... Olya went silent, and for a moment, I thought I saw tears welling up in her eyes. This is also a good one. Hang on. Un momento, por favor. She had this scary thing happen to her again. My sister looked at me with wet eyes. She had a fit, huh? This has happened before, but it was a rare occasion. Now that we'd moved to this godforsaken place, Mom's fit rose in frequency. Oh, fuck. I forgot to do the thing first. These patterns look so cool. And this is how I end up with like 5 million photos. Dad brought home a big fish. It was wrapped in a newspaper and it had a foul smell. Mommy got angry again, and then she took the knife. Olya squirmed, looking fearfully out of the window. They started screaming at each other. I froze, imagining my little sister so small and unnoticeable, standing in the kitchen doorway. Oh fuck. God damn, every time. Honestly, me playing this game sometimes. She wasn't even trying to hide it. Our parents just paid her no mind at all. And then Mom struck it. Like this. Olya slightly moved her fist downward, imitating a strike. She hit the fish. It was still alive, Tosha. It must have been in pain. And Mom. It was easy to imagine what happened next. The writhing fish with a blade between its fins squirted some foul-smelling musk into Mom's face. Whenever death got this close to my mom, be it when a person was hit by a bus in front of us and their blood was smeared all over the windshield, Or when grandma chopped off a chicken's head and mom would always get into a weird, dreadful fit. That's cool. The art here is fantastic. Okay, I think I got both shots. And what about Dad? Did he help her? Olya shuddered as if just remembering it pained her. Yeah, but at first, he started laughing, Tosha. He let out an evil laugh when he saw that Mom was in trouble. But then he cried. Olya's story made me raise an eyebrow. It seemed like the forest oozing madness had not only completely consumed our mom, but also infected our strong and courageous dad. I quickly stepped toward Olya and locked her in a tight embrace. She dug her face into my chest, and I could feel my shirt becoming wet. Why are they bullying each other, Tosha? Are they crazy? I stuttered, unable to justify the actions of our parents. I had ran out of words, and all I could do was hug Olya even tighter. Boo. Olya screamed and hid behind me. Turn it off, quick. No matter how many times she saw this intro, she would always react the same. Just like when she saw that owl. She should probably close her curtains. I mean, I also got goosebumps every time this ghastly face appeared on the screen, so I immediately complied with my sister's request. Okay, we're just listening to static now. VID, a TV company logo depicting a ceramic head of a Chinese philosopher, Guo Ziyan, with a three-legged toad on top of his head. It instilled horror in the whole generation of 90s kids in Russia. Sure. Finally, the game selection showed up for the cartridge that was bundled with the console. Too bad most of the names were just different levels of the same game. I picked the gray rectangular controller and started looking around the pixel letters to find the familiar English word for duck. Background music from the menu soothed Olya's mind, and she asked in a calm voice, "How are things at school?"
Ничего хорошего.
Nothing good.
Школа новая, а достается мне по-прежнему.
The school is new, but my treatment is the same.
Словно и не переезжали никуда. Задолбало.
As if we never moved. I'm so tired of this. Before despair could lead me down its depressing road toward the clutches of repressive thoughts, something evil writhed deep within my skull. He's a bunny. Tiny bunny. Awakening wild and pleasant memories.
Знаешь, кое-что хорошее все же случилось.
Actually, something good did happen. Olya watched with hope, eyes filled as a wicked smile spread across my face, faintly resembling the wound from the box cutter knife.
Еще один мальчик пропал.
Another boy went missing.
Тоша, разве это хорошо? Почему ты так говоришь?
Tosha, do you think that's good? Why do you say that? My sister's voice trembled when she looked into my eyes through the thick lenses.
Знаешь, а может, тот пропавший Вова сам виноват, что с ним это случилось?
You know that other missing boy, Bova? Maybe what happened to him was all his fault.
Может, он совершил нечто настолько плохое, что не заслуживал жить.
Maybe he did something so bad that he no longer deserved to live.
Не будь таким жестоким, пожалуйста!
Don't be so cruel, please. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's cute. That's like definitely a mood in this game. Olya pressed her knees into her chin and hugged them with her hands, trying to take up less space, as if she wanted to shrink or even disappear altogether. It was the only reasonable thing for us to do. Go missing among all the other broken toys, and never encounter evil parents or mad classmates. We're the only ones left for each other, the only ones who can protect, listen, and sympathize. Which means she's bound to listen to what I think about them all. These beasts, pretending to be children, that are so eager to bully the weak. It was my turn to speak.
Думаю, они не последние.
I think they won't be the last. My breathing quickens. My fingers start banging on the wooden floor.
Такие люди, как они, недостойны жить, ходить с нами в одну школу.
People like them are not worthy of living, going to the same school with us,
Смотреть на твой свет.
or looking at your light. My thoughts got tangled. They slipped away along with my calmness.
Тошенька, хватит! Ты меня пугаешь!
Tosha, stop it. You're scaring me.
Не бойся, я смогу тебя защитить.
Don't be scared. I can protect you. Then I finally noticed that Olya was looking at me like I was a stranger.
Кто ты?
Who are you? The rage that swelled inside me subsided. It hid under the guise of my cowardliness, leaving me alone with the growing feeling of guilt for scaring my sister.
Оленька, прости, я не хотел.
Olya, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a homicidal tirade.
Видимо, я схожу с ума в этой школе.
I guess I'm just going crazy at this school. She rushed to embrace me, barely holding back her tears.
Все хорошо, Тоша. Только, пожалуйста, пожалуйста, никогда так больше не говори.
It's okay, Tosha. Just please never say anything like this again.
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
I swear on Mom's heart. Olya flashed me a bitter smile.
А сам сказал, что так говорить нехорошо.
And you told me I shouldn't say that.
Ты права, давай лучше играть.
You're right. Let's start playing already.
Только чур я первая.
I'll go first. Do I have to participate? What am I doing? Player one, get ready. shit. This is not my real life hunting skills. Let's get dangerous. This is so cool. I got nothing. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't know we were still playing. I got one. Big bro achievement. You made your little sister happy. My mom only managed to get through to me on her third attempt. Anton, there's a call for you. It's a girl? I sobered up in an instant and rushed to the hallway.
Не споткнись, смотри.
Watch your step. I grabbed the phone, pressed it into my chest, looking at my mom. She shrugged and went into the room, gathered the toys thrown around by Olya as she went.
Алло?
Hello?
У твоей мамы такой молодой голос.
Your mother has such a young voice.
А, ну да. Она сама молодая.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is young.
Не мешаю?
Are you busy now?
Нет, что ты.
Of course not. If only she knew how costly this conversation could be for me, what risks I just took on answering this call. There was a pen and a shabby notepad lying on the nightstand. I picked them up and started moving the tip of the pen across paper, producing chaotic doodles that always ended up turning into hearts. I make tunnels.
Я тут подумала, мне надо тебе сказать кое-что.
I've been thinking. I need to tell you something. I froze. It can't be. Does she like me?
В последнее время у тебя такой потерянный вид.
You've been looking so lost lately.
Сегодня в школе на тебе буквально лица не было.
And when I saw you at school today, you were pale, like a ghost. I couldn't find words. My heart was a flutter in anticipation.
Я хочу сказать,
I wanted to say
я на твоей стороне.
that I'm on your side. A smile was spreading on my face in anticipation for Polina's next words.
И мне тебя очень жаль.
And I feel so sorry for you.
Такие хорошие ребята, как ты, заслуживают большего.
Good guys like you deserve
Мне
better.
очень хочется верить, что однажды ты найдешь в себе силы дать отпор, и другие перестанут тебя задирать.
I want to believe that you'll find the strength to fight back at some point and that others will stop picking on you. The pen fell out of my weak fingers. Is that all she's going to say? Maybe you'll even find a girlfriend. Ooh. She sounded as if she was unsure of her own words. Well, I just wanted to know that you're a nice guy. This Chadro extreme. His response. It was a total failure. Compassion instead of an invitation to hang out. You there? Before I could reply, Olya descended the stairs. She was holding some book in a pink cover. Encyclopedia of a Young Lady. Will you take long? I covered the handset with my hand.
Я разговариваю.
I'm in the middle of a conversation. Actually, she's trying to hang up on you.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Почитай мне, пожалуйста.
Read me a bedtime story, please.
Мама уснула.
Mom fell asleep.
Иди к себе, я сейчас.
Go to your room. I'll be there in a minute.
Только быстрее, ладно?
Just be quick, okay?
Ладно.
Fine. My last reply sounded excessively annoying. I sighed, watching my sister running up the stairs.
Алло, Полина?
Hey, Polina?
Прости, мне надо бежать.
Sorry, I need to run.
Представляешь, кое-кто втюрился в меня и теперь отирается у моих окон, требуя сходить с ним на свидание.
Can you imagine there's someone in love with me and he snoops about under my windows demanding to go on a date with him?
Пойду прогоню его, пока дедушка не проснулся.
I'll go chase him away before Grandpa wakes up.
Или может дать ему шанс?
Or maybe I should give him a chance. No, that is bad behavior. I bit my lower lip in jealousy.
Если интересно, расскажу тебе завтра.
I'll tell you tomorrow if you want.
Мы в конце концов друзья.
We're friends after all. Friends. At least she didn't say we were besties. Girl, run.
Да, конечно.
Yeah, sure.
Добрый.
Good. The buzzer hammered in my brain. I'm not saying that. An angry voice spoke through the teeth in my brain. Like a restless zombie devoid of a conscience, I dragged my incel feet up the staircase. I wish I could tell Dad, ask for his manly advice. Oh God, fuck no. But he doesn't show up home until late at night because of his new job. My parents don't have time for me, to put it lightly.
Ну, где твоя книжка?
Well, where's your book? I stuttered. The kid's room was empty.
Оль.
Oh, yeah? She probably snuck into my room. I started walking down the corridor. My room was infested with shadow. The blinds were wavering like there was someone hiding behind them. I smiled, sneaking toward the window, and threw open the curtain.
Попалась!
Gotcha. There was no one behind the cloth, but that looks sus. The window was a TV screen showing a winter scenery. The lamppost, the field, and a couple of figures walking in the middle of it. Alyssa and Olya. I gasped and pressed my fist to my mouth, sinking my teeth into it. Alicia was leading Olya into the thicket. I needed less than a minute to hurriedly dress and rush out of the house. My heart was beating like a firing machine gun. Better be sure to change those barrels. The wind carried the cold, resinous smell of coniferous trees from the forest. Freezing air cracked somewhere in the field. 2 shadows loomed in front of the gate. I could only recognize them as my sister and the fox girl because of their height. I ran towards the fence, listening to the howling wind and the squeaking snow. I slowed down and touched my glasses, trying in vain to adjust my vision to the surrounding darkness. Worry landed on my shoulders like a weightless snowflake. A snake woke up in my belly and started writhing. I felt nauseous. I thought about my home, the flimsy fortress I'd left behind. I finally caught up to my sister, dressed only in a coat.
Оля!
Oля,
Ты видел лисичку?
have you seen the foxy?
Оля, зачем ты вышла на улицу?
Olia, why did you go outside?
Если мама узнает...
If Mom finds out... My sister froze in place, facing the taiga? Taisha? I don't know. She was in a hand's reach, and I put my numb wrist on her shoulder for some reason, probably to make sure it wasn't important. That one got me. That one got me. A pointy beak was directed at me, strewn with feathers that formed the face of an owl. Something wearing a bird mask was staring at me.
Не узнает.
Hoot hoot, she won't. The voice sounded exactly like Olia's, but there was somebody else hiding behind the feathers in the cartoon. I sprinted away as if I got whipped. The masked creature only pretending to be Olia, just to lure me out. I was running like crazy, drowning in snow. The house in front of me was rapidly growing. The yellow light in its windows granted me hope. My mom, sister are there, my salvation. I couldn't hear anything from behind me, as if nobody was chasing me. Maybe it's because the owls can fly? I was already climbing the porch when I noticed another figure. From the soot-black shadow of my house, a scruffy wolf cub crawled out and stood in my way. Its movements were jerky, chaotic, as if it was performing some terrifying dance, or convulsing during a stroke. Even though I could see clearly that the wolf face was a mask, something in this werewolf's convulsions made me freeze in place. The boy in a wolf's costume rubbed his side against the porch post and fell to his knees. He bent his back so hard I expected his spine to crack. The beast's eyes shone, but he didn't attack. He kept crawling around and running on all fours. I shifted my feet, my mouth agape, trying to keep him in my line of sight. Something was trickling from the slit in the mask. Vicious drops fell to the wooden planks. Saliva. Some unknown force pushed me back, in the back, whispering me to save myself. The fence was flashing by at the edge of my vision. I was running in another direction this time, towards the toothy edge of the forest that smelled of pine. My heartbeat measured time. The wolf boy growled behind my back, as if he forgot his human nature. There was growling. My right leg got stuck in the snow-laden cavity. I yanked it out, cursing under my breath, and fell to the ground. Plastering snow prevented me from standing up, from propping myself up against anything. But my unbound thirst for life helped me get out of that trap. Darkness was creeping closer, like the toxic fumes of burial pyres. I ran again, gasping for air that stung my throat. My hair swayed in the wind. I lost my hat when I fell down, and my ears were now hot from the freezing cold, while most of my body was still sweaty. The field finally ended. After realizing that running into the forest wasn't the smartest decision I could make, I dove into the line of trees. I ran without stopping, my face covered with one of my palms. I don't want to lose an eye to some random branch. Branches whipped my clothes, pricked my skin like butchers that were herding a pig into the grinder. What if you run into a tree, though? A knock of roots, like you have eyebrow, you have glasses. A knot of roots sprouting from the ground grabbed at my feet. I rammed into the scratchy trunk, sliding down to its base, and looked around in panic. You're so fast. My first desire was to dash toward her and hug her. I resisted it and squeezed myself even tighter into the pine. You? What are you doing here? This and that. She was holding the hat I had lost. Working part-time in Lost and Found. Put it on, or your ears will freeze and maybe even fall off soon. She giggled. I squinted in suspicion and shifted my gaze back and forth between her and the hat, scared that Elisa might be holding a severed head or something even more sinister. But in the end, my hat turned out to be just my hat. I took it and pulled it over my forehead. Feeling warmer? I didn't reply.
Там во дворе были какие-то дети.
There were some children in the yard.
И что, покусали тебя, что ли?
And? Did they bite you or something?
Нет.
No.
А чего же ты убежал?
Then why did you run away? The answer was obvious, but after rolling the thought on my tongue, I mumbled,
Не знаю.
I don't know.
Обещала не обзывать тебя дурачком.
Why did I promise to never call you a dunce again?
А я обещание исполняю.
Oh well, I keep my promises. We'll see, Elisa. She walked up to me and grabbed me by the elbow. I sensed the familiar aroma of mint, oranges, and burnt sparklers. I wanted to lean into Alice. I guess her name's Alice now. To savor the minute details, minute details, I think they were going for, of her smell.
Сколько можно повторять? Со
How
мной ты в безопасности.
How many times do I need to tell you? You're safe as long as you're with me.
Я твой друг.
I'm your friend. And she doesn't lie, supposedly.
И они.
And they are too. I quickly turned around towards the place the fox girl was pointing to. Kids in masks appeared at the clearing. At least they looked like kids, since they were all pretty short. A wolf boy, an owl girl, and a bear boy. They all huffed and gasped for air, clearly tired from running around. I thought you fell through the snow. Started digging around, but couldn't find you.
Я не копал, лень копать было.
And I didn't care enough.
А ну как получается, если дурак, ты бегай да копай.
You see, if you're dumb, you run around and dig.
А если умный, подожди, пока другие набегаются, накопаются и устанут.
And if you're smart, you wait until the others get tired of running around and digging.
Уж тогда заводи разговор.
Then you start talking.
Как я рад!
You're a rat.
Дегенерат!
Be gone, rat.
А?
Huh?
Не обращай внимания, он со странностями.
Don't mind him. Lisa says he's a weirdo. And if she says he's a weirdo, that's good enough for me. I stood out there, stupefied, my mouth agape, and my hands dangling helplessly. I had no idea how to react to the words of these late-night guests, but I managed to squeeze out something resembling a smile.
Вы просто меня напугали.
You just scared me, that's all. They started looking at each other, and somebody even snorted, as if I said something funny. That's like being scared of swimming in the ocean because there are sharks. Bitch, where do you expect them to live?
Да, да, лиса права!
Yes, the fox is right.
Это он.
He's the one.
Нет, это наш!
No, this is our... Have we finally found him?
Наш зайчик.
Our bunny. Yeah, he looks the part. The wolf boy started wagging a part of his costume like it was his tail in excitement. First?
Ну, конечно, ты первый.
Of course you were first.
Это волчик раньше всех почуял зайчика в тебе и рассказал нам.
Wolfie here was the first to sense the bunny in you. He told us about you.
Здравствуй.
Hello?
Нашей совушкой ты знаком.
And you've already met our Hootie before. She isn't that scary, is she?
Да, наверное.
I guess. I like owls. And this big smiling guy is Teddy.
Ты лучше с ним поласкай, а то голову откусит.
Be mindful with him, or he'll chew off your head.
Зачем это?
What?
Да, смотрю, ты чувство юмора где-то обронил.
I see you've also dropped your sense of humor somewhere along the way here. I was still unsure if these peculiar little animals had the best intentions in mind, so I hid my hands behind my back, trying to look away from the gaping holes in their carnival masks. Elisa put her hands to her sides in a theatrical manner, and somehow managed to wink with her fox face.
Когда в следующий раз придем, будем звенеть в колокольчики, чтобы ты не так боялся нашего визита.
The next time we come, we'll ring bells for you. That way you'll be less scared of our visit. Do we even have any bells?
Чур, я звенить не буду.
I won't be ringing.
У меня лап.
My paw hurts. My smile was no longer fake.
О, зубы показал. Это добрый знак.
Aw, you showed us your teeth. That's a good sign.
Не ожидала, что сможем тебя рассмешить.
I didn't expect you to find us fun.
Я думала, это под силу только Диснейленду.
I thought it was emotions reserved strictly for Disneyland.
Откуда ты знаешь?
How do you know that?
Да так, прочитала кое-где.
Read about it. Somewhere.
Про меня?
You read about me?
Про клюв от воробья. Про Диснейленд яхоту.
Aren't you funny? No, Disneyland, darling.
Ты умеешь читать по-человечески?
You can read human?
Зря я, что ли, в школу хожу день ото дня.
Do you think I've been going to school every day for nothing? And then she's saying in a coquettish voice,
Как детей не замечать, как мечты их развенчать. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат в школе. Крепко-накрепко вломить, с детства слабеньких чморить. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат в школе.
Five Nights at Freddy's has nothing on this. This is a twisted fever dream gone bad. I let out a cautious laugh. My new acquaintances didn't seem scary anymore. On the contrary, they looked friendly and welcoming and slightly bizarre. There was something about them that attracted me. Just like this clearing, this moon, and the snowflakes that fell backwards from the ground to the sky, as if someone was rewinding a tape. The masked kids got close, and I felt their touch. They gave me friendly taps, felt my clothes, as if checking whether I was real. There was no animalistic malice in their touch, only pure childish curiosity. For some reason, I thought to myself, I can trust them. Snowflakes just kept on floating upwards.
Никто тебя больше не обидит.
Nobody will hurt you anymore.
Друг.
Friend.
Пусть только попробую.
Yeah, if someone even tries to. The fox gave me a slight tug and burst out laughing.
Ну что, Тоша, убежишь с воплями или с нами пойдешь?
Well then, Tosha, will you run away screaming? Or come with us?
Куда?
Where to?
На аттракционы!
The amusement park. At that moment, Taega's descriptive silence was broken by the sound of a distant flute. Mesmerizing and alluring, it brought about the ring of crystal glass and the whispers of a fresh winter spring. If I had any doubts before, the flute's song shattered the last of them. I started following my new friends before I could even make up my decision. My legs carried me of their own will, and the tunnels made of pines stepped apart. Brushes bowed in front of our procession. Everything looked dreamlike. Beautiful. Because even the clearing we ended up in, I only saw my dreams. The flute soared up in the treetops like some fantastical bird. The snowflakes floated up in a spiral. The moon painted tree branches with silver. Elisa gasped in amazement I was also in awe. I tilted my head backwards as far as I could. What a sight.
Очень красиво.
It's so beautiful. Wolfie howled in agreement. Lisa said this is nothing.
Я покажу гораздо больше,
I can show you much more
если захочешь.
if you want. I did want. I wanted to see what the fox girl saw with her eyes, hidden in the semi-dark of her cape. Now I didn't feel weird about these masked kids. I felt weird for being the only one without a mask. I felt like I was naked in January winds.
Скажите, а зачем вам маски?
Why do you wear these masks? I was trembling, but I wasn't scared. My trembling wasn't caused by the cold. It originated from the peculiar anxiousness, the anticipation of something amazing.
А тебе зачем?
And why do you ask? I touched my cold cheek.
Но я без маски.
I'm not wearing one.
Обожаю человеческие сказки.
I love human tails.
Человеческие ласки.
Human nails?
Человеческие дрязги.
Human fails? I got a human fail video pulled up after this.
Я же говорила,
I've already told you.
все жители поселка носят маски.
All the villagers wear masks.
Только скрываются за ними отнюдь не люди.
It's just you won't find anything human underneath them.
И даже я?
Even me?
Ты такой рассеянный, Антон.
You're so clumsy, Anton.
Однажды мы уже нашли твои очки.
We've already found your glasses once already.
И шапку.
And your hat.
И твое настоящее лицо.
And your real face. I looked at the mask the fox was holding out to me. The bunny mask that looked like a silver ingot under the moonlight. I was curious to see the world through its slits. What you laughing about? Me? Suddenly, fighting its way through the flute's melody, a thought came to me. The glasses they found were in Semyon's possession. My new acquaintances must have known what happened to him, or even worse.
А куда подевался Семен? Что с ним стало?
And where did Semyon disappear to? What happened to him?
И с остальными детьми?
And the other children? The bear and the owl looked at each other. The wolf boy curled into a ball. And the fox lowered the pointy nose of her mask.
Тот, кого держали в клетке.
The one who was kept in a cage.
Тот, кто режет мелко-мелко.
The one who cuts into little pieces raw.
Тот, кто носит кожаное лицо, забрал их.
The one who wears a skin face took them.
Умел бы я креститься, перекрестился бы.
If I knew how to cross myself, I'd do it.
Хотите сказать, это был человек?
So you're saying it was a human?
Чем ты только слушал?
Were you even listening to us?
Разве можно назвать такого, как он,
How can you
человеком?
call someone like him a human?
Одно слово. Взрослый.
There's just one word for him. An adult.
В мире взрослых так легко потеряться.
It's so easy to get lost in the adult world.
Убийцы, жестокие дрессировщики и равнодушные родители.
Killers, cruel animal trainers, and cold parents.
Лучше об этом вовсе не думать, чтобы не грустить.
If you don't want to get sad, better not to think about them.
Не знаю, как вам, а мне печалиться совсем не хочется.
Or you could be strongly advised to look up your local registry of child offenders. Allegedly. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to be sad.
И я сегодня какой-то не грустный.
Somehow, I'm also not sad today.
Антон.
What about you, Anton?
А?
Huh? I was lost in thought, staring at the pines, trying to pinpoint the location of the flute. How you have like 4 furries in front of you. How are you not paying attention to this? And you're like, flute. I was sure that the person who played it was standing right behind the piney stockade. Someone tall, going over the holes in the flute with their long fingers.
Так что, сядем тосковать или займемся отдыхом?
What now? Are we going to sit and be sad or have some fun?
Алиса хотела что-то показать.
Elisa wanted to show me something.
Давай начнем с самой сладкой части программы.
Let's start with the sweet stuff. The fox girl took out a handful of candy from her pocket and handed them to each of the kids. Covers shuffled. The smell of pineapple, cocoa, and melon wafted through the air. The last treat, a chocolate-covered waffle candy, Elisa put right into my mouth herself. With very low boundaries. My tongue was engulfed in spiciness. Weird. I felt like my body was covered in fur and small sparks were running along it. Oh, this seems like a ritual. Seems like a non-consensual ritual. I chewed on the waffle and chocolate, gulped them down, enjoying the vivid taste. You know what I also take with chocolate? Psychedelics.
Спасибо.
Thanks. My gratitude was barely audible because my lips were already touching the insides of a mask. I didn't even notice how I put it against my face. The paper mache was warm. The mask stuck to my skin, giving it a nice prickle. The kind when you dive into a hot bath after being outside in the winter. When you lie there and purr from the soapy water.
Говорила же, это твоё!
See, I told you, this is yours.
Моё.
Mine?
Чего стоим? За нас веселиться никто не будет.
What are you waiting for? The fun won't have itself. The melody kept swirling in the field like a hurricane. I couldn't wait to release the energy. The heat in this enchanting music was filling me with... The owl jumped and disappeared into the sky. I heard her laughter from somewhere above, and then she landed back, huffing and sighing.
И ты так можешь. Попробуй.
You can do it too. Give it a try. I followed suit. My feet tore off from the ground. I flew towards the sky like a rocket and screamed for my happiness after seeing my friends down below. The wind helped me fly. It felt like I was jumping on a huge trampoline. The stars looked like vivid sparkles that I could reach and lick up. The moon also got closer, and then I plunged. I got scared I'd break my legs for a moment, but my soles landed softly on the ground, and I regained my balance.
С нами ты в безопасности.
You're safe with us,
И все твои мечты станут явью.
and all your dreams will come true.
Я так счастлива наконец обрести тебя.
I'm so happy that I finally found you.
Зайчик.
Bunny! In a fit of merry laughter, I realized the most important thing. These four are not a threat. My real enemies, and I felt that with every single hair on my mask, were those who knew nothing about magic. Humans from the village. I also realized how alive my surroundings had become. Yeah, there was mushrooms in that chocolate. I heard the dry grass under the slow moon. I saw faces of the trees and the stars. The trees were smirking and the stars were grimacing in fear. That's right, be scared. I'll jump up to you, and I snapped my teeth and then let out a jubilant laugh, jumping up along with the fox. We flew higher than the tallest pines and stayed in the air. I swirled, Elisa followed my rhythm. I knew that she was smiling, so I smiled too. And the flute just kept on playing, carrying us higher and higher.
Эй, тебя что, заколдовали?
Hey, did someone put a spell on you? That someone is standing next to me, I thought, trying to unglue my chin from my desk. Fever dream? My muscles felt slightly sore, but that feeling was pleasant. The whole class was wandering about for some reason, whispering and passing notes to each other. Their faces looked like discolored masks to me, bleak and boring. I yawned, remembering the time I was soaring high above the forest with Elisa by my side, laughing and squeezing my hand. Perhaps, no, probably, it was all just a dream. Because I didn't walk back from the forest, just woke up in my bed on a normal morning with tea and medicine. Still, I was hardly worried about trying to find a rational explanation for my night dance. That feeling of flight was much more important. The knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops of majestic pines and burying my teeth at the moon.
Прости, задумался.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
Слышал уже про Катю?
Have you heard about Katya?
А?
Huh? I glanced at an empty seat in front of me.
Катя пропала.
Katya went missing. Oh no. My sleepiness was gone in an instant. I frowned in suspicion.
Как пропала?
That's bad writing. I don't even care about her. Oh shit. Okay. Well, this is where we stopped for today with the missing kid that I don't really give a shit about. I give a shit about like real missing kids, not like that bitch right there.